Hi Cancer, welcome to your daily tarot reading. Thank you for joining me in today's reading where I'll be using the Universal Weights deck and the Starseed Oracle deck for today's message. So remember to take what resonates and leave behind whatever you feel does not. So let's find out what messages come through and what energies you may be dealing with on this day. So the first card we have is the Seven of Wands, so you could be dealing with a fire sign. The next card is the Death card in the reverse, so you could be dealing even with a Scorpio with this card. Finally, we have the Knight of Swords. So you could be dealing with an air sign with that card, so a Gemini, Libra, or even an Aquarius. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords. So that is more air energy coming through. So with the Queen of Swords, this is a card that is showing a lot of independence and an ability to remain objective in a situation that involves perhaps many people or anything that you are working on. This is very fair energy, so this is all about being able to also to be heard and also to hear others and being able to have a fair negotiation or interaction. So with this card, this is also showing perhaps the that in any situation on this day you may be standing up for your boundaries, and it is what is making you come out as this very independent energy. And this is showing very focused energy but also very level-headed. So with the Queen of Swords, this is being able to stick to your own beliefs, to stick to your own set of standards when it comes to what you want out of a situation, and also not getting easily distracted, and also being able to reduce by removing any distractions when it comes to anything that you are trying to focus on. And this is a very fair, and so she does that by being able to use her discernment, which is very sharp with the Queen of Swords, and that is this card also shows someone who's very intelligent as well. So you could be tapping into these traits within yourself on this day, and you could be showing up as this Queen of Swords when it comes to situations and that you may be dealing with on this day. And then with the Seven of Wands, this is a card that is showing perhaps overprotective energy. So this is a card that shows someone who's trying to defend what they have built for themselves, something that is theirs, and they're trying to protect it from what is a threat. So that could be a perceived threat, but this card is showing something that is built that is worth fighting for. And so it's possible this could be perhaps in relationships, this could be in love, in work, in any creative pursuits or outlets that you are putting out there. This is all about being able to defend it, stand up for it, and also being able to stand your ground when it comes to any opposing forces, any oppositions, anybody who is perhaps trying to fight you on it. This is all about being able to show up and protect what you have built for yourself, what you are trying to build, and what you are trying to maintain. Also with this card, it shows someone who is trying to gain footing. So it's possible that also in this card you could be coming into perhaps a new venture, being exposed to perhaps a new area of your life, and you may be trying to find your footing and to settle, and also to adjust and adapt in a new environment with this card. So with this card, it shows a lot of grit. So this is showing a lot of tenacity and a lot of willpower when it comes to defending yourself and protecting what you have built or what you are trying to build. So this could even be perhaps this an energy that is coming towards you. Perhaps somebody is in your corner and someone is defending you, someone is standing up for you when it comes to any opposition, when it's very unfair kind of opposition. So also with the Queen of Swords, that's showing a very fair settling of any disputes. So this could also be perhaps somebody fighting for you, somebody defending you as well, and also you perhaps being vindicated. And then with the next card, we see the Death card in the reverse. And so with the Death card in the reverse, this is a card all about perhaps having a hard time with letting something go. This is a card that is all about wanting to stay in a situation and prolong its end. So that could be because this is something that you really believe in. Perhaps it may be a time where things are not looking, perhaps you may where things may be getting a little bit difficult, but this is all about being able to dig your heels in and continue and fight for it. And this is not a giving up energy. This is all about perhaps even fighting for the prolonging of a situation. And this could even be about bringing life to a situation that may be on its way out, that may be may look like it is coming to an end, and it may be something that perhaps other people are losing hope in, faith in. This is all about you being able to see and recognize and even fight for what light you see in a situation that looks like it's coming to an end. So with the Death card, this is refusing and resisting an end of a situation. So this could even be somebody else's energies in a relationship, for instance. Somebody doesn't want it to end. This is showing someone who is willing to put in the work in order to make it continue and persist. And also this can be perhaps in work. This is all about perhaps in what looks like something that is not going anywhere, perhaps being able to acquire more skills and being able to implement different strategies in order to prolong and also revive something that you are working on. And then with the Knight of Swords, this is a card that is all about perhaps some very determined energy. This is a message that may be coming in on this day. What with it being a card with the element of swords, this could be in communication. This could be about information that is reaching you on this day. There is a sense of urgency with this message. But with the Knight of Swords, this is a card that shows a little bit of impatience. So there is very little tolerance for making sure that everything is clearly covered when it comes to some information. So there could be some things that are overlooked, or some things that may have not been entirely thought out with this message. So with this card, this is also a card that is also about being able to make sure that you have double checked any messages that may be coming in or that you may be sending out. But also with this card, it's showing that ability to fight for something. So with it coming after the Death card, this could be all about perhaps going into that saving mode in order to not drop the ball on something. This could be what is that extra kick, that extra force that really is able to revive a situation, perhaps. And also with the Seven of Wands, this could be that energy of coming to the aid of somebody who is in a position where perhaps they are up against something and protecting someone or something in a situation. Okay, and with the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck, this looks like it's very fair energy. So it could be that there is a need to fight for something. It could be that there is a truth that needs to be put out there, and it is really all three of these cards is all about being able to persist in the face, to persist in that type of situation, and to fight for what you believe in and stand up for what you believe in. Okay, so let's find out what message comes through with the Starseed article here. Okay, so the card that came out is this card over here. It says perspective. It says none of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. Okay, so with this oracle card, it's all about being able to take a step back and look at the bigger picture when it comes to any situation that you are in. Okay, so one way you can look at this card is that with the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck, that's all about being able to have an objective perspective on a situation, and that being something that can lend itself when it comes to your discernment over what you are fighting for perhaps in the situation. Also with this perspective card, it is all about not being bogged down by situations that may be difficult and any conflicts that you may be experiencing, and being able to step away from that blinkered vision and reactive frame of mind of me against them. This is all about changing your perspective and shifting your point of view and zooming out to find common ground, which is a settlement, which would help in gaining a greater perspective of humanity in this fleeting moment in the timeline of your soul's existence, in the timeline of all that is, was, and ever will be. This card could also be speaking to perhaps any conflicts that you may be experiencing with that Seven of Wands card, and being able to, instead of investing your time in any conflict situations, being able to find to adopt a different way of looking at the situation that can lead to a more fulfilling perspective for yourself. So this card also says we become so lost in our individual experience that we don't realize that most of the things that keep us awake at night are actually distractions. We're wasting our precious time and resources fighting each other when we should be coming together to heal what's been severed. Okay, so this card is also about you utilizing your resources, your time, conducively and very wisely as well. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out a card from the Fairy Tarot deck to for further clarification or another message or more messages. So this is the card that came out. It says Seven of Autumn. Have patience and don't worry. Take time to rest and plan your next steps. A prudent investment of time or money. Okay, so with this card, the Seven of Autumn card, it starts with have patience. So this could be a card that is especially clarifying the Knight of Swords, which is all about perhaps urgency, being impatient energy, rushing to make something happen. And with this card, it is to be patient, to move slower, and also to be able to take time when it comes to planning the next steps on something. And with that perspective oracle card, this could be all about being able to come to a settlement and an agreement through other means other than perhaps fighting. So you may be even getting that opportunity to gain some common ground on a situation through perhaps communication that is more effective with that Queen of Swords. So instead of these two energies rubbing up against each other, they could actually come together to save what is perhaps coming to an end and what is being represented with this Death card. So they don't have to be in opposition to each other. So that could also be what message is coming out with that perspective card and being able to zoom out with that oracle card. Okay, so that is all I have for today's reading, Cancer. Thank you for joining me in today's reading, and I hope you have a wonderful day today. Bye, Cancer.